So a couple weeks ago, I made a video about Jarrett Stidham, who was at the time the Patriots starting quarterback. I was wondering, is this guy a franchise quarterback? Can he survive as a starter in the NFL? I think we got our answer tonight when the Patriots went out and signed Cam Newton for a one-year deal. There's no money that's showed up yet, but it's pretty incentive heavy is what Adam Schefter said, which makes a lot of sense. So I know the Patriots did not have much cap space, but one thing they can do, which I know they can do, is extend Joe Thuney, their guard, who I think is slated to make $14 million in 2020. They extend him, and that frees up some salary cap space for them for 2020. So they could do that. I'm sure they could do a few other things as well, but that's like the main thing that comes to mind for me. So I'm excited for the Patriots. I mean, I'm sure the Jets fans, Bills fans, even Dolphins fans probably were so happy when Tom Brady left for Tampa, and they're probably like, all right, we can finally win this division. And then the Patriots get this one-time MVP, a guy that's probably a top 5 quarterback in the league when he's healthy. And if you don't believe me, I actually went back to a football I did before the 2019 season last year for fantasy football, and it was about Cam Newton and his stats for the 2018 season. So Newton's numbers before his injury, which he sustained against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football, it was at Pittsburgh. It was TJ Watt hit him in the shoulder, and then he was basically not the same guy after that. But before that injury, Cam Newton's numbers were 1,800 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 352 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns. You put that over a full season of 16 games, that's over 3,700 passing yards, 30 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions, over 700 rushing yards, and 8 rushing touchdowns. That is still a very elite quarterback. And you know what? That's going to work out perfectly for the Patriots. Their defense is still really good. I don't have any questions about that. Their offensive line always gets it done. Are their weapons the best? Not really. I mean, they still have Mohamed Sanu, Julian Edelman. They don't have much at the tight end position, obviously. They do have N'Keal Harry, Jacoby Myers, some younger receivers, but for the most part, not the most explosive weapons out there, but I still think they can get it done for sure. And I'm excited for Cam Newton. I think the Patriots made the right move here. If I was them in their position, I definitely would have tried anything possible to get Cam Newton. I mean, every other starting position for quarterbacks for the other 31 teams is pretty much solidified. We know about pretty much every starting situation everywhere else. There's some questions. Will Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert start? Will Tua Tagovailoa start? Will Ryan Fitzpatrick start? There's questions like that. But as for like actual roster situations, like the Patriots only had Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham, and those guys are not players that I would be comfortable going into a 16-game season with as my starting quarterbacks. Now, I did say in my video that I did think Stidham can survive in the NFL. I think he could be fine and maybe put up 20 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and just be like just a game manager type of guy, but he's not going to give you what Cam Newton's going to give you. And if Cam Newton is healthy next year, there's no reason why the Patriots should not make the playoffs and maybe even go pretty far in the playoffs as well. So if they got, I'm not saying the 2015 version of Cam Newton, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but like the first half of 2018 Cam Newton, which was about 80% of that, then I think this team is going to be set up in a really good position to compete in the playoffs next year. Not only make it, but compete for a Super Bowl. So I'm sure their fans are very excited. I've seen some comments so far. Most Patriot fans are thrilled by this. I'm sure they were not too excited going into a season with a 4th round sophomore player out of Auburn and then lifelong backup Brian Hoyer. So I'm sure they're very excited about this. Patriot fans, let me know what you think about this. I'm excited for you guys. You guys have a great team, and I do think, as I said, they can go very far in the playoffs. So let me know what you think. Cam Newton's a Patriot. 2020 football is going to be very weird. I actually tweeted this out. Gronkowski's a Buccaneer. Brady's a Buccaneer. Phillip Rivers is a Colt. Eli Manning's retired. Crazy stuff going on in 2020, but I do think this is a great move for the Patriots.